Hello, 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 and welcome. Welcome to another story time brought to you by ABC Read and ABC Learn, in which we are here to help you develop and nurture that love of reading in every child as well as every adult. How are you all doing out there today, evening, whatever time of day it is, whatever the weather looks like? Wherever you are around the globe, I hope you all are doing reader-rific. That's right, y'all. Reading and terrific all put together. The beauty of reading because you are increasing that vocabulary bank. And like I said before, you can play with that language, all right? And that's what I like to do sometimes. And that's what it is. And you can do it too. All right, that's what's up. And before we get started with our read aloud, I wanted to address a little issue that someone had put a comment in one of the videos that I had did. It was a while ago, but I never like addressed it like on a video. I basically put the comment. I put my response to their comment. And it was about a story that I posted. I posted the story, and I hope you guys go check it out. I'm a brilliant little black boy, right? Awesome, awesome book. And the comment that was made, she said this. She said, if the image was all the same and instead the title was, I'm a brilliant little boy, wouldn't it make the same statement? My daughter hates when describing someone has to include the color of their skin, and she's 15. And when she put that comment, my response was this. I said, hi, I appreciate your comment. Unfortunately, people of color who are descendants of enslaved, kidnapped Africans in particular have been dehumanized, degraded, and told we were not even worthy of being respected as a human being by white supremacists because of the beautiful skin that we were blessed with. So, this is why we, as a people of the global majority, have to constantly affirm and reaffirm to ourselves, in particular, our children, that we are brilliant, smart, creative, and every positive adjective possible because we live in a society that told us we weren't nothing and we were never going to be anything. I am truly of the belief when this made up social construct of race is eradicated, we all can truly be human beings living together with all of our similarities and differences, contributing great things to the world. And I just had to say this because, unfortunately, sometimes people think that, okay, well, she's reading all these different books that have, black children on them or black characters or about people of color and those types of things. And even people who look like me, people from the black community, sometimes feel like, why do we always have to say black this or, African American that or people of color, why can't we just say, human beings and all those types of things. And just like I said, I don't have to read the comment again because I know you guys heard it, I believe, loud and clear. You know, just like, when you're trying to get rid of a type of thinking or you're trying to address an issue that is horrible and you're trying to get rid of it, especially when you have, I'll use Dr. Joy DeGrew's language. She's my mentor, even though she doesn't know this yet. But but basically, she talks about a preponderance of evidence. And she gave the example of when smoking became evidently clear, okay, that it was horrible for you and that smoking cigarettes could kill you. And not only could kill your unborn baby and the people around you. And so, but it was one time that cigarette smoking was considered cool. In fact, she talked about how people had ashtrays in their homes. Okay. But if you were to ask your child right now, what is an ashtray? 9 times out of 10, they'll tell you they don't know what it is. Why? Because there was a big campaign that was made that said, hey, look, we see that cigarette smoke is killing folk. It got all kind of dangerous junk in it, and so we're going to do everything we can to warn the people, to tell them, hey, look, stop, don't do it, don't smoke. Okay, people gonna do what they want to do. Even they made the price of cigarettes like almost $20, I guess, a pack, to try to deter people. But the point again is the preponderance of evidence was made. And just like we have a preponderance of evidence of racism, we understand that clearly. When you have children's books, that are written, you got like, I think it's about about 3%, maybe a little bit more of the children's books that have children of color. And then you have like about, I think, 6 or 7%. You can look up the statistics, Google, to correct me, do some fact checking. But you do I think like 6% of the authors are African American or African descent, and that's a problem. And the reason why it's a problem is because you still have children from the Black community who are reading proficient by the fourth grade. It's only 17%. 17, I didn't say 70, 70, I said 17, 1 7. 17% of the children who are in the Black community, as well as Hispanic communities, that are reading proficient by the fourth grade. And then these same children are saying they hate reading. Reading is boring. Reading is, they can't stand it. They don't want to read. And one of the big reasons as to why that is because they are not seeing books that have children that look like them or topics that they can relate to. That's key as well. Okay, things that they can, say, oh, wow, I can identify with that. Oh, that happened to me. Oh, that reminds me. This story reminds me when, I was at, my grandmother's house and we had a big dinner or whatever the case. Okay, so I just wanted to share that, address that, and just to remind everybody again, we are reading these stories for everyone, but in particular, I am focusing on Black and brown children, as well as adults in terms of reading books, that show Black and brown people in them. All right, bam, just wanted to say that real quick right here. And bam, here is our story that I'm going to read for today. All right. And this story is called Elephants Walk Together. And the author, her name is Cheryl Lawton Malone. Pictures are by Bistra Maseba. And please forgive me if you are listening. Those of you who have written these books and illustrated these books, please forgive me if I mispronounce your names. All right. As you know, I hope you understand it is not intentional. Look at this awesome, awesome book, right? Elephants Walk Together. Oh, wow. I am like so excited to read this book because number one, I love looking at elephants. Of course, I would never want to get close to one because you're talking about, I think elephant weighs like about a ton. Elephants are very, 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 very heavy. But I love looking at elephants. They just look, and it's so funny to me. I always, when I see them, it looks like they're always smiling, so it's pretty cool. All right, well, let's find out about this story. Elephants walk together. Sounds very positive, right? All right, well, let's find out what it's all about, y'all. And of course, this is the title page. In the wild, two baby elephants walk together. Eyes bright, trunks curled, they forage and roam, curious and proud, under a beaming sun. The first night star shines on Precious and Baba talking, and mothers and sisters and cousins and brothers, a noisy family walking. Until one day, hunters capture the calves and send them away. In a rattling circus car, Precious and Baba meet again. They trumpet their joy They purr side by side. The calves learn to climb on balls, ride bikes, and walk single file in the snow. Precious makes mistakes. Her knees begin to hurt. At night, Baba curls her trunk around Precious. The trainers scare Baba. Her ears ring with shouts and commands. At night, Precious stands over her friend. Under the big top, corn pops, whips crack, and people clap. Precious and Baba trot in a small circle, lifting one leg and then the other. They blink their eyes. The lights are too bright. They shake their heads. The noise is too loud. Precious stumbles. Baba cries out. They charge to each other's side, each protecting the other. The circus is ruined. Time to sell Precious, says the trainer. And Baba. Year after year, Precious moves from zoo to zoo. Decade after decade, Baba lives circus to circus. Precious stops walking. Her feet hurt her all the time. She cries for Baba. Baba stops talking. Her throat aches. She dreams of Precious. At last, the director of the zoo examines Precious. Her eyes are dull, her trunk flat. I know of a place, he says. He takes Precious to a sanctuary where caretakers wash and feed her. They bathe her feet with medicine. After a time, she walks again. The sun warms her back. Her scars begin to heal. But still, she misses Baba. Years go by. A new elephant arrives. Precious fans her ears a bit. Could it be? She trumpets. Baba purrs. They stretch and curl their trunks around each other, then set off to roam and forage, side by side, again, curious and proud, again. 10,000 stars shine on Precious and Baba, talking and walking together. The end. And now with this story, I want to read the author's note because this is Very, very important. Now, the author's note is this: elephant best friends? Yes. The story of Precious and Baba is inspired by the true friendship of two Asian elephants that met in a circus. Real elephants, Gypsy and Wanda, were captured as calves and sold to the same circus. Records show that the elephants knew each other and performed together under difficult conditions. They were separated for 20 years until old and sick. They reunited at the Performing Animal Welfare Society's sanctuary near San Andreas, California. When Gypsy moved into the Asian elephant barn, she headed straight for her old friend Wanda. The two foraged and trumpeted side by side until Wanda's death in 2015. Now, there are only two species of elephants: the Asian elephant, which can weigh up to 5.5 tons, and its larger African elephant cousin, which can weigh up to 6 tons. The African elephant is the largest land mammal on Earth. The majority of elephants in circuses and zoos today were born in the wild, where they lived and roamed with their families. Wild elephants are active for about 18 hours per day and can travel up to 30 miles during that time. They eat approximately 300 pounds of roots, grasses, trees, and bark per day and come from places with hot climates such as the Congo and Thailand. They like to toss dirt, play, roll in mud, and bathe in rivers. Elephant trainers use bull hooks and whips to make captive elephants perform tricks such as holding another elephant's tail or standing on another's back. Performing elephants often suffer from arthritis from walking on hard surfaces and nightmares from being separated from their families, as well as sleeplessness, sadness, fear, and aggression. It's not just captive elephants that are in danger. Farms and towns continue to take over the habitats of wild elephants, and poachers continue to kill these giants and harvest their ivory tusks. From 2003 to 2016, the wild elephant population in Central Africa dropped by 64%. Poachers killed 100,000 elephants from 2009 to 2012 alone. So, I just wanted to share that with you guys. First of all, one of the reasons is because when I started um, recently, I say like within the past couple of years, I really got tired of going to the zoo. And I got tired of seeing the animals looking depressed, looking like they wanted to be in their habitat, right? Just like how you learned in this story, right, about the elephants. And so that's basically, that's something that I started developing a distaste for, taking my children to the zoo. Because we know as parents, a lot of times, we get excited, oh, we're going to take you to the zoo, you get to see the animals. But then we're not really, really thinking about, okay, these animals, how do they really feel? They want to keep getting gawked at and looked at and oh, da, da, da. And they're in these cages and they can't even roam free with their families. They can't walk together with their families. The only reason why they're there is for our entertainment. So, and again, I felt the same way about circuses. And I just want to bring this to note as well. There was a time in Europe as well in the United States where you had African people as well as Native American people who were put in zoos to be gawked at and looked at. There's one person, he was a pygmy, Oda Banga, and you can Google him. And basically, Oda Banga was in the Bronx Zoo in New York. And he was gawked at, looked at, and all of that. And people would pay money to see him, and basically just dehumanized, period. So when I read this story, I thought about that happening to people, again, of African descent, as well as Native Americans. And this story also made me think about our enslaved African ancestors. The same exact process. Captors came to Africa, took our African ancestors out of their continent, out of their homes where they roamed and where they walked freely, enjoyed their families together, and they were taken so they could be enslaved and whipped and dehumanized, for someone else's personal gain. So, again, when you're reading these stories, they should be able to, we want our children to be able to relate to them, make it relevant to their lives, because this is one of the main ways of getting our children into reading. So hopefully you guys will pick up a book. Hopefully you guys will get this book, Elephants Walk Together, have great conversation about this book, do some research, and other books as well. So I hope you guys continue to read, and continue to listen to our stories on this channel. And I hope you all enjoyed this story time and that information I wanted to share with you guys. And please continue to like, subscribe, and share our videos. All right. All right, you guys take care, and you have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. And remember to keep reading for at least 30 minutes a day. Happy reading.